Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and I want to talk about trans rights. I am not transsexual or trans-oriented. I'm not homosexual or gay or anything other than a heterosexual, normal white male. So I will speak from my own perspective to whomever it might be interesting. You don't have to hear this video. Tune out already if you don't like it. But here's the thing. Trans rights are many times, unfortunately, a form of symbol abuse. They are leveraged as job security. They are leveraged as protection and sanctuary. They are leveraged in the way that there's a contradiction with any membership-based inclusivity. I'm going to say that twice. It's a contradiction when you have membership-based inclusivity, and it means you can work both sides of the deal. It means that you can say things like, trans lives are more important than. You can say that and have it mean something. So here's a symbol. Trans rights would be a symbol. These are just words. There are no individuals mentioned. There are no real people mentioned yet. So trans rights as a symbol, trans lives, that is, either way you say it, doesn't mean anything without specific real context, without real actual people being mentioned and evaluated for something, right, in a situation. There has to be a situation. So to say that trans lives, well, this is a loaded statement, isn't it? Trans lives are more important than. It implies right off the bat that their lives are in jeopardy, so it's a foregone conclusion contained in the statement itself. Trans lives are more important than X, whatever. More important than, and I recently read this word following this statement, your nostalgia. Okay, no, it's fine. Which trans lives again? Because just because someone's trans doesn't mean that they are immune from all prosecution. Doesn't mean that they're immune from getting fired for poor job quality. It doesn't mean that they're immune from anything necessarily just because they're trans. So opening with the symbol is an abuse by itself. What is the bigger picture? And that needs to always be the emphasis. Who are we talking about? What preceded it? What was the outcome? Why are we even discussing this? I feel like we're being trolled already just by rolling out this comment. Trans lives are more important than, okay, what exactly? Who? So consider this last thing I'll say about it. Someone commits a grievous crime. It's pretty obvious that they've harmed somebody outside of an agreement. There's damage, there's an injury of some kind. Maybe they broke in, stole something, or they stalked somebody, or they menaced somebody, or they stole something, like I said, and they happen to be trans. Okay, well, wait a minute. What if this conflation of facts becomes a defense on their part? Well, they were traumatized because they were trans. Okay, is that a foregone conclusion? What's the evidence? What are your sources here? Were they being persecuted by the other party? Is that what you're suggesting? Because that's also not given. Just because someone's trans, in conclusion, one more time, doesn't mean that they're innocent of all charges. Doesn't mean that they are automatically a high performer, a worthy candidate for any position because they're trans. Doesn't mean that they represent the 1%, and I've heard this also recently. In this town in California, I'm in Northern California, several hours north of San Francisco, not even in the the hub of the trans community, but near enough to it that I would say at least half the people in this town are trans in one fashion or another. The whole town's in support of the flag and pride, and that's fine until it becomes an abuse, right? You're allowed to exist as a trans person. You're allowed to have rights and respect. You're allowed to enjoy equal opportunity, of course. You're allowed to live your life and love whomever you please, as long as it's not an abuse or a crime in itself, as long as it's not being leveraged as sanctuary selectively on a membership-only inclusivity basis, right? This is a safe space for our people and no one else. You're either with us or against us. These are red flags. You're either with us or against us. Whose side are you on anyway? Trans lives are more important than nothing out of context. God bless. Have a great day, and let's get specific. Hey, you want support? Don't expect it, first of all. You want support? That's my choice, not yours. You want my involvement and my acknowledgement? Who are we even talking about? Why are we talking about it? It becomes my business when you make it my business. Why am I hearing so much about it? Reach out if you like with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.